Hey guys, it's Dom from the Patches In podcast. It's just to let you know that we're a wee bit behind with this podcast. This week we've been having issues of where we actually lost this episode and then we found half of it and then we actually found the full thing. So it's just taken a wee bit longer to actually put this all together. We've also got our special guest this time with us is Jason, who is Hugh's little big brother, who's going to tell us a few things about himself and jump in some parts of the conversation. Unfortunately, this is a wee bit delayed, so it was mostly me and Hugh gushing about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Hamish is rolling his eyes to the back of his head. Ross talks about some tabletop games with Hamish, which is very interesting. We do apologise for the delay, guys, so hopefully you enjoy this podcast, and this is episode 26.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Patches In podcast. Just to let you know, you can find our podcast on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, or on our YouTube channel. Just search Patches In. You can also get us on Instagram, Patches In Official, Twitter @Patches In, Twitch.tv/Patches In Gaming, on YouTube at youtube.com/Patches In, or facebook.com/Patches In. You can also email us any questions or comments you have, patchesinofficial@gmail.com. We've also got our website with all of our links there, www.patchesin.com. Hope you enjoy this episode.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Patches In podcast. This is number 26. So this is episode 26. I was about to say 24 again.
Damn it, Hamish.
We have a guest with us this time. It's not Ross, he's an official part now. It's Jason, my little monster brother.
Hi guys.
It takes him a while to figure out this is an audio podcast and he's not thumbs up the camera. So Jason, tell us about yourself.
I'm Hugh's brother. I'm probably the biggest Star Wars fan in here. I read all the books and
Only two good
play
fans.
games. I'm not as big into games as the rest of them, especially not Hamish, who's 236,000 gamer score. But I do like my computer games. But Star Wars is my thing, definitely, as you cannot tell from my my lightsaber.
Hey man, George Lucas will sue us.
That actually could do it. You're going to get us demonetised.
I like how that's your
money gaining.
I like how that's just your sum up of who you are. Hugh's brother, I like Star Wars and I don't play as many games as other people.
Yeah.
That is pretty much me.
And he's tall.
And he's
I'm
your
taller
wee big
than-
brother. Wee big brother.
I'm 6'8". I have a size 15 boot and I like long walks on the beach. There you go.
Your Tinder is laid out in it. I'm 6'8".
I don't have Tinder anymore. I don't know what I'm talking about.
6'8", size 13. ...
My girlfriend listening to this and be like, you got Tinder? Aye.
She would listen to this.
Right, she's already seen you and swipe left, mate.
I know.
Right, it's been an exciting week in gaming, hasn't it, Dom?
Has it?
Yeah, it's been very exciting this week.
It's exciting for news because it's been patchy, but for ourselves, with a release of a certain sort of game, me and you have been like talking about for months, and Hamish can't wait till we talk about it. But of course, it's been great.
We need Devil May Cry.
It's
Is it the Fallout 76 patch?
It's the Wastelanders DLC.
Because of the quarantine and just nothing really going on, there is hardly any news in gaming right now, except Crysis had a tweet for the first time in 4 years. Like the official Crysis Twitter just came out and said signal incoming, something like that.
Ready to break every PC of the modern era. Like, you think your PC's good until you play the new Crysis and it just pure destroys a Titan. Like,
or it turns around and goes like that. Crysis sort of moves away, and then Time Crisis, and you're, oh my god, that's what it is.
That would be even better. I've kept
Isn't it? I would
a
love
big
that.
CRT TV just to play Time Crisis. Like,
Well,
every time Sinead tells me to get rid of it, I'm like, no, but the light guns.
I feel like this week could have been better by just like, you think your PC's future proof, do you? Aye, Crysis, because Crysis 2, I still probably can't run on my PC. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that game's ridiculous. But
Is that not
yeah,
the Xbox 360?
yeah, but if you have it on PC, it murders PCs. Like, it just destroys them because obviously the Xbox came out, but the PC could obviously do a lot more. And the graphical specs for it, Crysis 2 is still a benchmark. They still use it to benchmark PCs, which is ridiculous.
We don't talk
games
about
like 2
PCs
and
on this podcast, do we?
Yeah, we do. In fact, I think me and Ross are going to talk about PCs.
Oh, nice. Well, when we get a Final Fantasy, they'll get the, so it'll be okay.
Yeah,
but it balances out a bit like the Jedi's.
I like balance like Thanos, mate. Are we going to talk about balance?
Right.
You know what? We should be talking about this week how Cyberpunk should be out like in 2 days, but it's not, and I'm so gutted.
Yeah. Well, you got to give it time. Obviously, needed time in the oven.
Yeah, it's your fault, Hamish.
Well, no, they said the other day like it is a full, product that's completely done. It's obviously just tweaks and polish that they're putting on it.
They might be doing the same thing that they did for Final Fantasy and just optimising it as best they can for this generation.
Or they're waiting for. Well, I suppose this would be an optimal release time. Everyone's sitting in the house, like they probably get more sales, but they might be waiting until this is all over so people can get to the shops that wouldn't normally download a game.
This is
release.
It was delayed before.
It was delayed 2 months ago.
Oh, was it delayed before it?
You know when it's coming out, Jason? Your birthday. There you go. Now everyone knows your birthday.
Oh, right, yeah. That's good then. They can all ignore me again. Hopefully by then we can actually go out and do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this should be over by then.
Hey, do you want to talk about your crap Final Fantasy game and get us over with?
No. Yeah, maybe ask about the weeks first, I would say.
Terrible host, man. You just skip him. I'll host tonight. How's your week been, Jason?
It's been good. I spent a lot of time.
Jason?
Answer me, not him.
Right, stop. Right.
I spent a lot of time with my girlfriend, so I took my Xbox with me, and I haven't really used my Xbox One in a wee while. I usually sit and play FIFA on it, but I got the Game Pass back, the Ultimate Game Pass, and I actually downloaded. We got Warzone, so I've been playing Warzone with some of the guys on here, like Hamish and Ross, Huey. Just been playing Final Fantasy. Dom can't play first-person shooters because he's inept at it, and Ross, who is too autistic at it to say the least. Other than that, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto, because seemingly it's 2012. But I've been playing the story mode to that. It's actually been decent again, getting back into the stories of things. But Grand Theft Auto is definitely crazy. I think I'm almost completed the game now. I've also been playing Ace Combat. So Ace Combat, Skies Unknown. That's been really good. Completed that. The story makes no sense. It's made up countries, made up people, but the actual gameplay in it has been really good, and it's free on the game. Only came out like 6 months ago, and it's on the Game Pass, which I'd pick it up and play the story for. The online I'm not so sure about, but it's got a lot of customization, it's got a lot of planes, a lot of upgrades. If you're into like fighters and dogfighting and stuff in it, it's really good. But that's pretty much been my week. I've just been playing the Game Pass, downloading games. I downloaded Zoo Tycoon, instantly uninstalled that. I think it's made for the Kinect. Because it was like 2013. It's a lot of like pet and tigers and shit. But
I'm pretty sure they've only just recently I think they've only just recently came out with an add-on for Zoo Tycoon as well.
Really?
There was a video just recently about either something that's due to come out or it's just came out. I've not actually checked that. I tried letting the kids have a wee shot at it, but meh.
It's not that good. I thought it was going to be like Roller Coaster Tycoon. It kind of is, but it has some of those elements. But it's more about feed your elephants, pet your elephants. There was a ball at the elephant alley.
Yeah. Did you just get elephants?
Parks. Like tigers.
There's more
I
animals.
neglected all the other animals. But it was probably the quickest uninstall.
Could have been Joe Exotic, mate.
I know.
Could have been the Elephant King.
Carl Baskin.
You know what, Jason? I love how when you've been telling us about your week. First of all, that you're like, I went to stay with my girlfriend, brought my Xbox. Like, nice, okay. And second of all, you're like the exact opposite of Ross. You're like, played this, it was alright, I liked this bit. I also played this, whereas Ross would be like, so I played this game, right, see back in 1993.
Was it the story mode you were playing on with Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, it was a story mode.
So
I don't really play
online to it. What was the character? Who's the character you liked the most from it then?
Trevor, man. Trevor is the best guy in the whole world, man. He gives the most, like, the least amount of fucks in life, and I love it. Like, he is like me. If I was like my persona was like, he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, and it's great. Like, he's so funny. He's eccentric. He's mental. Trevor's the best, followed by Michael. Michael's pretty good. I like how it follows, like, it takes a lot of things from different movies. I think it takes it from a lot of gangster movies, his story, and it also takes some stuff for like the Punisher. Some of the characters that Trevor knows back in his town. I can't remember the name of the town place. I just played the game. You know what I mean? Where he's from. a lot of the characters I think are from The Punisher, the movie, the 2004 one.
The Thomas Jane film?
The Thomas Jane one, yeah. The one with George Floyd and stuff in it.
I actually really love that film.
Yeah.
I think some of the characters are taken from that, and a lot of them are taken from like the 80s mafia movies and stuff like that. Like, and I think the story is actually superb. I've not fully finished it yet, but I think I'm definitely going to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's just so, for a game that was made so long ago, like 8 years ago. I know it's not that long ago, but like to jump into it and it looks brilliant. See, I've got I bought my TV off my obviously off Huey, and it looks stunning on my TV. And I've only got the original Xbox. I've got the 2013 Xbox.
The original Xbox one. Yeah.
And it still looks stunning on that. Don't get me wrong, there's frame rate issues with it sometimes, but other than that, it looks stunning. See, on a good TV, it still looks like a up-to-date game. Like, I've been really enjoying it. Definitely would.
Awesome.
I don't know if I want to delve into the online. I think
everyone's already played it.
That's what I'm saying.
I played it on the 360, and then I bought it again when it came out. The Xbox, was it Xbox One that came out after?
Yeah.
And I didn't even mind playing the story again. I enjoyed it that much. I was like, and there's not many games I would play through twice, but I was one of them.
I bought the game 3 times. Like, I bought it for my Xbox 360, Xbox One, and the PS4, just so I could play with other people on different consoles.
Well,
do you
I
remember that game
7 times.
So I remember that game came out. I was only like 22 or something, 28 now, right? It was only like 22, and I still stayed with Mum and Dad. And we got it for the Xbox 360 day release. The first thing you did, first thing you did was head straight to the fucking titty bar.
Of course. Priorities.
He took the controller off me and just went straight to the titty bar. Like, I was like,
and what did I do? I made it rain.
That was on the Xbox 360.
See Major Nelson, the Xbox guy. Someone was tweeting recently, and like Grand Theft Auto, when you're looking at your friends, you can see what they're doing in it basically. And someone saw GTA 5 in a strip club. And they obviously took a picture of it, and it went viral and stuff like that. He replied, he was like, I switched to Trevor, and he was in there. I was like, was he though?
Just in quarantine, mate, you just need a feeling of being outside.
I've just found myself driving about Los Santos and about San Andreas and loving it, man. Like, just getting out of a car with a rocket launcher and taking down a helicopter and just 5-starring it and running about. It's so much fun. Like, the game still holds up, no bother, as like a proper AAA title today. And I think, obviously, when the new consoles come out at the end of the year, I definitely think they'll be releasing another Grand Theft Auto. That'll be maybe in the first year of it being out, because it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's because they're making too much money with GTA Online.
But they will. I think they'll release. They'll release another one, I think, soon after the new consoles, because they're making tons of money out of it still. But I think if they release it for the new console quickly, they'll probably make tons of money out of that again. Depends on the infrastructure of the new console.
All the money.
All the money. But that's
been the biggest multimedia launch or something like that when it first came out.
Yeah, did it not break like £1 billion in like 3 days or something like that?
Yeah, there was like the highest grossing entertainment maker in 3 days. Like, I think Pirates of the Caribbean was the only one that was close to that. And they just destroyed it.
And Rockstar still got tax breaks from the government.
Yeah.
No, let's not get into that again.
It still annoys me.
The last thing that happened a week, my girlfriend Louise. Yeah. My girlfriend Louise doesn't play computer games at all, but I own a Switch, and she's been playing Spyro. I've got this trilogy on Spyro, and she's like the completion in this thing. She's like 100% in every level, and she said she doesn't see the point of gaming unless she 100% every level on it. But she's doing really well on that. I'm inept at everything.
You know what that means, mate? She's gonna want marriage, and she's gonna want kids. You 100% that shit, mate.
Well, she made fun of me for buying this, but she's like, that was a waste of money. You're never going to use it. Currently, it's sitting in her house, and she won't give me it back. Like, so it's seemingly like,
it's hers now. It's hers now.
It's her Switch. Don't worry, my phone that we're recording this on is sitting on a Spyro holder for the Switch. It's actually brilliant. It's sitting on it. Spyro is currently holding my phone right now. Makes me happy. But again, that's been my week in gaming, right? We can move on to
Good man.
I'll move on to Ross. Ross, how's your week?
You really want to do the two longest storytellers one right after the other.
I'm definitely going to need to spark a can for this guy.
Oh.
Why did you move your mic away from it?
That was a sexy spark.
Mate, my mic's right at my mouth. Mate. It was right there.
Aye, but you looked up, you went...
I was looking at something else. Mate. I've got an interesting room, all right.
Yeah, he was like that. You could feel the electricity. It was always fun coming from.
It's not like you've spent, the whole like 3 weeks in it, right?
I've been working, mate. I'm the only one. Well, no, Jason, you're still working, aren't you? But
I'm still
are you back? You went back to work for like 1 day and then you had a sore throat or something. 2 days and had a sore throat and had to fucking isolate.
No,
that was me.
I didn't have a sore throat.
A fever, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay, Frost.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I've my week's been self-isolating upstairs. I've been away from everybody, locked in the room.
Right, Dom, everyone else has answered. What have you been doing this week?
Again, just been playing some games, watching some movies. Disney Plus again, to try to catch up and watch all their sort of stuff. Yeah, Disney Plus, Jason, love it. Watched the Lady and the Tramp because that was exclusive to it. Nah, not really worth it.
Is it shite?
Yeah, it's just your standard one. You're like, ugh, okay.
Even Sinead,
it's just a reach out.
even Sinead, who's a massive Disney fan, doesn't want to watch that because it doesn't look good.
It's not worth it. No. But do you know what is really good?
What?
That Christopher Robin.
Is it?
Christopher
Yeah, it's
Walken.
actually
Walken.
Christopher Walken. That's really good. What's his name? I was about to say Ewan McGregor. I was about to say Elijah Wood for some reason.
Why?
Ewan McGregor's really good in it for it because he basically goes, "Oh, Jason, yeah." And
Hey! Cheers, Hamish.
Yeah, right.
Cheers.
back to back. Don't even let me stop talking. Just start sparking in a conversation, you assholes.
You were flowing, mate. You were flowing.
So it goes through the story of Christopher Robin after he goes to boarding school, so he can't go back to see Winnie the Pooh and all that. So it goes through his life after meeting up with them. So he goes through like a world war and has a family of his own, and slowly just like sort of becomes an adult and loses his way. So he goes back. It's like one of these sort of ones you can tell how it's going to go, but it's shot really well. The score's really good, and it's Winnie the Pooh at the end of the day. So it's like full of like Winnie the Pooh-isms and Eeyore.
Like Van Wilder.
Tits everywhere, Jason. Tits everywhere.
I know that the guy
He found his way back.
The guy that did Tigger's voice, he died just before it or something.
Yeah.
So they got like new actors in. Did they sound like the old cartoons that you used to watch?
Winnie the Pooh does because it's just Jim Cummins.
Right.
Like it's he's just the same. But everyone else sounded a bit odd for it. Like Rabbit sounded, and Piglet sounded really strange. I was like, Piglet sounded very British.
Oh, okay.
Instead of worried. He's usually like, ooh, quite meek. But no, he was like, oh, I'm going to go over here now. But wait, what? Come from Piglet. What's he doing?
Would you say you were the Piglet in this group?
I'm the Piglet in this group. Oh dear.
Was the rabbit just called Rabbit?
Yeah.
He was
Piglet was just called Piglet. Why didn't they get like names like you got Eeyore, you get Pooh, the other ones? I'm assuming I can't really remember much.
Kanga and Roo.
Kanga
Well,
Roo.
And who was the owl's name?
Who?
So why did Piglet just get like, oh, that's a pig, we'll call it Piglet, and it seems a bit unfair.
Piglet.
Basic.
Yeah, what I'm saying is it's not a like you don't have a proper noun. They just get they don't have a name. They just get their description. That seems a bit unfair,
Yeah, but it's like a good sort of. It's one of those sort of movies that you see in the trailer. Went, it just seems like a safe movie. A lot like Paddington. Like they were quite safe, those movies, but they were they were fun at least. It's had some good moments. But apart from watching them, so just catched up on some Simpsons seasons, and then found out that at the end of May, that's when they're fixing the aspect ratio.
Yes.
They're doing it. So end of May, they have confirmed, they've come out and saying we're going to sort it out. It just takes a while for them to do it. So I'm looking forward to that. But when it came to gaming this week, it's just been Animal Crossing and a certain game that you'll probably want to talk about, Hamish, because you love it so much. But obviously, Hugh, we were going nuts about it. Animal Crossing had the Easter event. I didn't enjoy it very much because they just spammed you with just Easter eggs and they were useless, and I wasn't a big fan of it.
It's cool that they're doing something though, at least. Keep things fresh.
Just go offline and put the date forward to get these.
Some people have. I have seen like someone doing an edit of Shibuya in Animal Crossing where he basically got all concrete buildings and vending machines, and they have a Godzilla there and all that. I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome, man.
But the rest of the week has been filled up with a certain remake that we've been waiting for ages. So if you want to take the lead in this year about your week, because I'm assuming it's completely...
Was it Resident
Evil? No, it wasn't Resident Evil. It was Final Fantasy VII Remake.
If only it was Resident Evil.
Then we could all talk about it confidently.
Did any of you play Resident Evil?
No.
Yeah.
Did you?
Resistant?
Played Resistance.
Not the same thing.
And I've played
Final Fantasy VII Remake came out on the 11th at midnight because I waited for it to count down and played it for a few hours then.
I think me and you both did the same thing, took pictures of it. Where are you? What's going on?
Yeah, like, it's been an event. Like, I couldn't wait to start it.
Yeah. Again, like, I had a meeting I had to do at 8:30 in the morning, and I stayed up till like 4 or 5 o'clock playing it.
Yeah, I've completed it, and so have you now. You completed it today, didn't you?
Yeah, just finished off. It was like, I could wait about, and I was like, do you know what? No, I'm going to finish it just to see like if there's any big surprises in that. There was one which we might talk about.
I don't want to get too much into spoilers because it might be a bit early to ruin it for people, but it's a 20...
Not everyone's already had 30 hours to put in yet.
Yeah.
20 years or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not...
There's new stuff in it, Jason.
Yeah, so what I liked about this game, that it wasn't just a rehash, it was a remake. When they had it like remake, they actually got to tell different parts of the story. They got to develop characters a lot better.
Yeah, that's a big deal in this. See some of the characters.
It's a huge deal.
I played 7 obviously a couple of times. I've completed the original on PlayStation 1, PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Like, I love that game. That game's great, but like there's not a lot about certain characters, like no development. There's no like spending time with them, getting to know their personalities. And with PS1 games, there wasn't getting to know characters that well because they didn't have voices. There wasn't enough space on the disc to put high quality images of them in flat. Like,
you couldn't see them emote. You couldn't sort of like, reference to how they were feeling or what they were doing.
Yeah. So this remake basically shows them as people because it's almost like a person. Like the graphics are so good in this that like you actually think that's a person. The voice acting is so good. Like the voice actors are excellent. They know the personality of each character. Like Cloud is different. Cloud isn't like the badass he was in 7, the original. He's more of like a nervous, self-conscious type badass.
Still, yeah.
Like
he knows. And what I think about it is that he knows he can do all these things, but doesn't like showing off that he can. But he will pull it out if he needs to. Yeah. Because like you've got that term with him saying that he was always an ex-soldier. And I like the fact that I remember all the way through the Final Fantasy VII rap I played it years ago, no one else from Soldier knew him. I was like, that's very strange. But they have that one character that they've put in this game going, that's Cloud. Yeah. Hey man, what's going on? And I was like, oh, thanks. They actually have someone that goes like, no, he was part of Soldier. He went through the ranks in that to actually, be classed as like a Class A, wasn't he? Yeah, Class A Soldier.
Not Class A, it's a Soldier.
A class. Sorry.
I should know all these little intricate things, but the details that they put in this game, especially at the beginning, to flesh out people who weren't fleshed out in the original, like Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, like they're now characters that you're developed into. You're like, I care about what happens to these people. And is it Biggs? Is definitely Charlie Sheen from. Is it Apocalypse Now?
Apocalypse Now.
Or no, I don't think it's Apocalypse Now. But it's another film. It's like got the red bandana and the spiky black hair and stuff. You're like,
is that not Charlie Sheen? Is he not
Platoon?
Was it no Platoon?
Yeah, Platoon. It looks exactly like him. I don't think Wedge is based on anyone or Jessie, but like Jessie gets a massive upgrade in this game. Like, she becomes adorable. Like she's trying to fire into Cloud the whole time she's around.
So I didn't know this until I completed it today. So see, like what I liked as well, that with the bike mission, they've given you like another chance to do it rather than just sort of throw you into it like for the escape part. So they actually give you a warm up sort of mission, and it's like I don't really remember that part in the game and gave her a bit of a better backstory. But see when you were driving the bike fighting the other soldier guy.
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah. Did you get the bit where Jesse kissed you on the cheek?
Yeah, because I did it really well.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, okay, and I went and then checked, and shit's on you if you do really bad. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, your performance in the game shows other people how good you are, so you get a better reputation.
I'm sorry, I think my audio messed up there, Dom. What did you say she does if you do really bad?
She shits on you.
She shits on you. All right, okay, so that's actually what you said, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like, pops a squat, but just basically rags on you.
Okay, all right, okay.
That
Continue.
does not sound in any way, shape, or form like a better experience. She rags on you.
She rags on you.
But Jesse, you care so much about these characters.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of, if you've played the games before, you played Final Fantasy VII, the original, you start to worry because you know what happens to these characters. Like, oh shit! Like,
what did you think about like sort of the cells within Avalanche as like a whole unit rather than just Barrett and that? You had like other divisions there, and and it's more like it's not just these characters that you're following. It's like a lot more people that are going through it as well.
Organisation that an eco-terrorist organisation.
Yeah.
The game has some seriously adult themes. It's about like even back in '97, it had eco-terrorism, it had morality of war, which a lot of these games have, ethics of like cloning and stuff like there was a lot of stuff in it that maybe you didn't get in the first playthrough, but you get now.
Yeah,
especially
what you're doing,
fleshed it out.
Yeah, with the greater good, and then like when you're in the Shinra building, they all had like this sort of bit where the elevator goes up and the doors opened up and you start fighting soldiers. So the next time it happens again, Cloud goes to go and do it again, and it's just some business women going,
I messed up with that bit.
Alright.
I decided to take the stairs.
Oh, did you miss that then?
And it made you climb up 59 flights of stairs, and your characters all get more and more tired, and they were all just struggling at the end, and I was like, this is taking me 10 minutes to climb these fucking stairs. There better be something good at the end. And they were like, nah, your characters are just low on HP and need to rest.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. That's near the end of the game though, so...
Yeah, but it's like when you do that, like the lassie sort of panics and then the elevator closes and then Tifa goes, yeah, you actually forget that there's people that actually work for Shinra. It's not just, a face, like, these are bad guys. It's like, people are there actually trying to make the world a better place and trying to, like, do the best that they can for their families.
I think it mirrors real life for people, as normal people actually living their life, like doing jobs that, like for oil companies or for doing defence and stuff like that, and they've just got to try to live their life. And I try to explain that badly without spoilers, but
who did you think got the best character development, like out of everyone? Like, who do you think the best for this?
Jesse got loads. Barrett got a lot as well. I really enjoyed everything with Barrett. He wasn't a cartoon character in this.
No,
like it wasn't like a Mr. T
clone
caricature. He was actually like a person with morals and values. Like, see all his speeches he was trying to do, and everyone's looking at him like he's an idiot. But yeah, his voice actor was really good as well. He tried not to make him too caricaturish. Like, he was. It
was interesting.
He was really good. Yeah, like Tifa also got lots. Because see in the original game, you didn't.
She was my favourite character through all, because like out of all the characters that she had the most to lose from everyone, and was very reluctant to doing anything. It didn't come across well in the original, especially this. It came across like she was like, I really don't want to do this. Do we have to? Like, is there not like a better way? And you get that from her, like the dread and stuff like that.
She doesn't want to do the missions because she doesn't want to hurt people. Like, but you don't see that in the original game because it's just a lot of text, and they don't want to bombard you with text. But if there's a voice actor like saying lines, you can kind of get the emotions behind what they're saying. But all those little details added up to make this game a lot better. The music in this game is phenomenal.
Yeah,
like
that's my word.
Nobuo Uematsu came back for this game, but I think he wasn't the main composer. It's a guy called Masashi Hamauza.
I didn't want to pronounce it because I'm terrible.
Yeah, the music's all like remixes of the original stuff, but dynamic.
Yeah. So it's in stages, which I liked about it. It was like, no matter what, if you were on like just basically like Metal Gear Solid, like you would have. So like you would be like when you're on, passive, active, caution. It felt like that, or like when you were in battles, the where monsters or bosses changed their stances or they changed their approach. The music would change along with it.
Yeah, it was dynamic, every part of it.
And it reminded me, like, when I was, like, for the first couple of hours, I'm like, this is a better Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
This feels like a better Final Fantasy 15. and it has characters that play a lot better than anyone else. Like Gladius was the only character I really felt that I got to have a different experience with. Noctis was okay, but
Noctis was alright, and
yeah, but
Magnus, but
yeah.
You never got a chance to play as them when the game came out, which was a big...
Yeah, it was like a big update later on. But with this, every character had their own benefits, and like Barrett obviously has his gun where he can just do a shot straight away, which is good to break sort of anyone's guard. Or Aerith has
magic.
Her magic, holy, I think she was using for it, like it was doing the dispel.
Yeah.
And then you also had Cloud with his
Cloud was
even
slow.
limit breaks now. Yeah, he was but then you could
and
switch
powerful.
stances and that. It was. But then Tifa was just again.
Tifa was rapid. She was the fast character, and she hit hard. But Cloud would hit harder, but he was a lot slower. Barrett was a long range guy with some good magic, and Aerith was your healer, and she did black magic as well. But she was better at the healing stuff. So when I first started playing this, I was like, well, I'm never going to switch from Cloud because he's your guy. He's the guy you want to play as. But then as soon as you get into some boss battles and stuff, you're like, right, you're switching between them because they've all got different strengths, and you're eventually it became a bit of a choreographed dance because you knew the best tactics to use your party, because there is only 4 playable characters in this game, which is different from the original. But
yeah, that's true. Because you do meet another character near the end of the game, they do help, but they're just not active for it, which is a bit frustrating because he's one of my favourite characters, but then it makes sense with where the story ends for this, what they were going to continue with. So you're like, okay, you didn't get to play him until you got out to the fields anyway, so you're like, right, no problem. What did you think? Oh, Hamish, there he is. What did you think of the Sephiroth dynamic that they had with Cloud through the entire game? It wasn't even just I was 45 minutes in, and you see him.
Right? Sephiroth is a confusing character in every single Final Fantasy VII game, movie, whatever. He's a confusing character, but he isn't a person. He can inhabit other people's bodies, the clones of him. So what happened?
The children of Sephiroth.
He was a special super soldier. Cloud killed him. Spoilers. But they tried to clone him, so he can now come alive in these clones. It's
through Genova. It's a whole thing. They'll probably clear. I think they'll try their best to.
I thought it was good because I didn't think they were going to make the Shinra company the main boss of this, then say, oh, by the way, Sephiroth right at the end. They had to set it up like there was going to be another game. So they were like, by the way, Sephiroth is the big bad, but Shinra is what you're fighting against right now.
But no, I thought the way that they paced Sephiroth from showing you right away, that he's all because it took you a while in the first, because it was always when you were bombed the runner, at the start of the mission, it was always just text, and that's supposed to be Sephiroth talking to you, and then you see the feather. But in this game, they show you there's the feather, that's Sephiroth. Sephiroth's fucking about with Cloud at the moment. Or when the screen goes fuzzy and you're like, it's but
it fleshes out so much more. I've seen a lot of criticism of this game after, because I've had criticism before because I didn't want anything to kind of muddy my opinion. I wanted my original opinion. But I suppose we're going to have to.
But I read this on Kotaku.
No, I didn't. I actually went. I didn't know anybody had issues with the game until I went on Twitter to see.
I only had 2 problems with this game. One was there was a lot of pop in for it.
Yeah, there was
but it's a over 100 gig game, so I'm it takes a while for things to load up, so that doesn't really bother me. And the second is the NPCs when you were running about the place, all talking at once with dialogues going on. That really pissed me off.
As well.
You're like, hey, what's going on? Fucking Jesus, we don't need to know that.
See, this is where I'm interested because I don't know much about the game, but I heard a lot of criticism, and I like it, because it's crap.
It's not the texture thing, right? See, every main, you can tell this game has...
Oh yeah, let me start off by, because you know what I'm talking about, but obviously the listeners won't. So one thing is, a lot of people are saying textures are really low res in some places, to the point where people have been must be something wrong with the download. They've not downloaded right.
It's
popping. The models, stuff like that. Yeah, they're fine, but the textures in some places are low.
They're saying that the door where you live in the first part of the game, I noticed it. The door is just muddy looking, and it's that looks fucking bad. But supposedly that's just the close-up texture isn't loading in. So like
at all. So, or if you stayed there for ages and gave it time, would it?
Like, and it's see all the cutscenes and stuff. They're all perfect. There's nothing wrong with them in the actual like main story of the game. But you can tell some bits were contracted out because there's a lot of developers on this game because it was so big.
Did you see at the very end who was contracted out for some of the games as well? One of the places in Glasgow did it.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a Scottish place that was in for it. It was like the last thing. I was trying to take a picture of it quickly, but unfortunately they don't do screen capture at credits on PlayStation.
Like do screen capture from the last chapter because it didn't want people to ruin the game for other people, because this game takes a big left turn in the last chapter.
Well, going on from that, a lot of people are comparing it to like basically how crazy and how nonsensical Kingdom Hearts games are. They're saying it's basically just a Kingdom Hearts game now, like with the crazy shit going on.
Well, it's the same writer and the same director, Tetsuya Nomura. He did Kingdom Hearts. He was Sakaguchi's boy. Sakaguchi was a guy that created Final Fantasy, and Nomura and Kitase are pretty much the two main guys at Square Enix for Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. They're two biggest properties now. So they said that they didn't want to do a remake of the game. He told you that when he was doing it originally. He was like, I don't want to just remake it exactly beat for beat.
Because where's the fun in that? Where's the interest? Because you've already played that game 20 years ago. Why would you want to do it again?
Yeah, it doesn't. But that was the first thing I thought when everything started kicking off, and I saw that big end boss and stuff. I was like, this is very Kingdom Hearts. That guy looks like Heartless. Like, he looks like Heartless at the beginning of the Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's Kingdom Hearts influence there, but
similarities.
But I like it. I like the twist because it just brings in. It's like almost like a multiverse, alternate universe type thing now, but it's not a remake. The things that happened in the original game still happened.
Yeah,
this is an alternate reality.
Yeah.
Another thing people are saying is there's a lot of like padding. Like obviously, I think is the name of the place Midgard. Is that where you?
Midgard, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they advertise like, all right, we've added loads of stuff to Midgard, and people are saying it's padding. It's like long corridors you need to run down so that there's not a loading screen, and you know there's not any actual substance to it.
Yeah, I get that. I get that Midgard isn't huge, but it's detailed in what's there.
Yeah,
I was thinking more like see even when you were talking about like this going up those stairs, like that sounds like might have been a bit that someone was possibly referencing. You know,
I think that was in the original as well.
Yeah,
that was to fuck you off for picking the stairs. Because you got to pick the elevator or the stairs, and I was like, well, I'm going to pick the stairs because there's going to be soldiers in the elevator.
It was just to give you a choice. That's all.
When you said that you actually had different, like when you had lower health up when you went up all the stairs, I thought that's fair enough. That serves a purpose. That's all right. You know what I mean? Like,
it was comedy as well because Barrett was like, "Oh man, fuck this! I don't want to climb these damn stairs." Like, and I was like, "Surely they're going to skip a couple of floors for me here. Like, there's going to be like a reload." But no, I had to climb fucking 59 flights of stairs.
I like that. That's funny.
I was just going to say there, sorry, surely it can't be any worse than climbing those ladders in Metal Gear.
Oh, and Snake Eater. Like, what a thrill. I love that.
People have been bashing on the side quests, and a lot of the side. There's only 24 side quests in the game, I think.
Yeah.
24, 25. And I
think people were saying that they don't have anything to do. Well, no, they don't have anything to do with the main story, but it's kind of, no one's really interested in that. Like they're there for Final Fantasy and.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I know why the side quests were in the game, because they were trying not to move away from what the original game did too much. They couldn't add too much other story, but now that it's an alternate universe, I think the next game's going to be a lot freer to do whatever they want to do. But talking about this game, it's definitely not perfect. The side quests are quite boring, if I'm honest, but the main storyline is amazing. Like, I did
like the Tomberry showing up. That made me really happy. And I was like, so Tomberry is basically, Hamish, you might like him. He holds a wee lantern. He's like 2 inches tall.
He's really small.
Really small. Yeah, holds a wee lantern, has a knife.
No, he's just got a wee knife, and he walks really slowly towards you, and you're like, what the fuck is this thing? And then it stabs and kills you, like instantly.
Instant death. Nice. So in this game, I was like, I'll just walk away from him because he goes so slow in this open, and then he disappeared and then reappeared behind me and stabbed me. I was like, all right, that's awesome.
He's got some serious wee man syndrome.
what I loved about this game is all of the characters were fleshed out, believable, and just interesting.
Yeah.
Music was really good. The battle system was exactly how I wanted it to be.
Did you like seeing Tifa fleshed out? Did you?
Yeah, I did actually. And then
I love Tifa.
see, like Aerith was a character who was like, but she's only in like the first half of the original game, right? And spoilers for a game that came out in '97. She had no real personality. She was just a good girl, if you know what I mean. Like, she was just along with you to be your healer and stuff and be a part of the story. But in this, she has an actual personality that's quite fun to have around. Like, she's got good snappy comebacks and stuff like that, and she's got different.
She antagonises Cloud and stuff like that as well.
Like, no, like the girl characters aren't just there to all want to have sex with Cloud, even though that they all do.
The first is so real.
They've got a more three-dimensional personality than that. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not all they want to do. Like,
and all Cloud wants to do is find Sephiroth.
Yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with him. He's just like, he wants to hold his big sword and kill things. That's it.
And they want his other big sword.
But yeah, the ending goes off somewhere different, and that got a lot of shit on Twitter, and people were like bashing it. And I can see where they're coming from, because they were promised a remake of a game that they love, but I can also see where the director was coming from, where he was saying like, I just don't want to remake this game again. I want to do something slightly different.
Yeah,
it's the same with like a band that not so much like re-releasing an old album or something like that, but making a new album, and then bands always get either, oh, this is just the same shit again, or, oh, this is different, this isn't them. You know, it feels like, you know, it's catch-22. You know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Basically, like, there's always going to be people complaining anyway.
I think we're going to get criticism no matter what, because it's such a highly regarded game. Sorry, Dom.
Because it's shit. And I would say, even coming of like, you know, with no nostalgia for the game, that if you came into this game without any knowledge of Final Fantasy, I think you would actually enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Like, especially like the way Cloud acts with everybody. Like, there was that moment with Aerith. Like, I can remember in the PlayStation game where I was like, what are they actually doing? And it turns out it was like a high five for it, and he actually fleshed out that bit where you're going through like the tunnel.
Yeah.
So it was like her going up for like
a high five.
Like doing the high 10, and Cloud was like looking at his hands like, what? Like, you're like, what?
And then later on he tried to give her a high five, and she didn't know what he was doing, and he started laughing at him, and he was like, no, I wasn't trying to give you a high five.
Yeah, and you're like that, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
I finished it on 32 hours.
I was nearly 40.
I powered, man. Like, I was sat...
You powered, man, 5,000?
I think I completed it like 2 days ago, and I've just been thinking about it ever since. Like, my God, that was so good.
Been dreaming about it. Right.
So the $1 million question: which one's the better game, the original or the remake?
Right. So I'm gonna butt in here. Right. I've not played either of them, but to just even open that up, obviously the original has to be the better, because if it wasn't for the original, there would not be no remake. So surely,
that's question as well.
I mean, objectively taking them separately as they are, completely.
Hugh,
what one do you wish was your first experience?
Oh, definitely the '97 version. Like, I don't think like the game is so good that the remake is so good that I think I would have loved it even if I didn't play the original Final Fantasy VII.
Mm-hmm.
But the experience of playing the original made this better. Like, all the wee extra bits actually made it really nice, because I was like, I know these characters already, but I didn't know that's pretty cool. Or like, now I can put a voice. I know they all had voices in like Advent Children, the movie, but that was kind of rubbish. But like, playing the original game made this better, but this game is good enough to stand up by itself.
The only issue that I have like with this suggestion for it, Ross, is to say that I would wholeheartedly say take the remake and go with that. Problem is that I can't fully endorse it, because it's not the full story. You're not going to get the full thing at the moment, and the story itself is worth playing all the way up to like the showdowns, like dealing with Shinra all the way through it, meeting all the other characters, all the side characters that you would get. Like, there's two characters, Vincent and Yuffie, that you don't need to essentially get in your party. You could just go, fuck it, and just continue on without them. Mm-hmm. There's all these sort of ones that I'm interested in seeing what they would do with the remake, but you'll be waiting years for this one for it. So to get the experience fully, I would have to sort of go with the original. But if you were looking for something to get, like, 30, 40 hours into, have a great experience, have possibly one of the greatest soundtracks in a video game of all time, I'd say, like, hands down, like, everyone knows, or everyone has heard Sephiroth. Everyone that knows, like, with the orchestra, with the choir singing all the back, and then the big Sephiroth. I'm sure that they tease you this for at least 7 to 8 minutes with just, you know, they're coming up to, oh, they're going to say it. No, they're not. And they peter down and they all and you tease you. Tease you with it. You tease
that's probably one of the most annoying songs that I've ever heard in any video game ever. So,
because it's because everyone, I remember, like, even back in like the old internet days, like when you'd be on Newgrounds, stuff like that, everyone had that theme, and then you'd be like, dee and you're like, okay, right, he's evil, we get it. But on this remake, they subtly change parts of it where it's not as in your face for it. The choir come in slow and they come in a different tone, and they build it, and build it, and they build it, and then you think it's coming, and then it's not, and they just keep building it, and it becomes this. It's a masterpiece of a soundtrack.
I watched basically what you're saying,
and there's 4 different versions of each song, all played at different tempos and stuff for each different situation you're in, and they all play at the same time, but muted. So the 3 of them are muted, and they all come in at different levels as you're playing the game, and like, so it's just perfect. Like the Sephiroth song, there's the muted version of when he like, obviously he's going to appear, and then there's his main version, which is when he's there. And it's not annoying. Like, they don't hit you in the face with it all the time. Just play the game.
All that effort into 4 multiple soundtracks all playing at the same time, but the door can't have its texture loading up at the right time.
I know. What is it, Manny?
Square Enix going to Square Enix, mate. Like, that's what
I've never played the original. I'm probably not going to play this one because I don't have a PlayStation to play it on. But
really,
the idea,
probably not. Like, just I might not, but I don't have a PlayStation. Like, I'm pretty sure you're definitely not.
I've definitely. I mean, unless I was
to the Xbox next year,
I will. So I might play it at that point. But the idea of it coming out as a remake, as opposed to, you know, a like for like, I like the idea that they've brought it out and they've edited enough wee bits that even if you played the original, there's still some surprises in there. Like, I like that idea.
What I liked as well is that, see, the music's one of the big reasons why I fell in love with the game. That's alright, Hugh, don't worry.
Hold on. If we're sparking cans, like,
it just seems to be whenever Dom tries to open his mouth, everybody's like, right, sharp.
Dom, go get me a beer. I don't
fuck you.
Dom, go get me a beer.
Dom, you're making a point, but could you go and get off?
Jason, you've sat there doing fuck all for like half an hour, however long this shit conversation's been going on for. Like, you really got multitudes of beer.
What do you want me to do?
Go and get a beer.
What I do like
that mic and get... No, Dom, we're resolving this. Get to that mic, Jason, and get a fucking beer.
Hamish has had 4 beers. And he's now aggressive, Hamish.
I'm on my second, I think. Third maybe.
I know, he's like, hi, he can't come to me, but little does he know.
That means he can drink and drive.
Bring it, bitch.
Sorry, I know you've got a point to make.
So, like, with the soundtrack for it as well, that there's hidden collectibles of the characters' themes as well, and they've all got like a wee bit of a twist onto it as well. Like Barrett's theme with the harmonica and that.
Yeah.
Really good.
Did you collect all the discs?
Yeah. I loved every single one of them because it all just reminds me of like all the older tracks that they had in the game, but with little spins on them, like the Chocobo theme.
Yeah, that was really nice. It was all salsa.
Yeah, there's so many good ones. But it was the battle tune, which was like one of my favourite ones for it, or Red 13's one was really good.
See, is it the battle theme where you're fighting the boss, where the guitars kick in?
Are you talking about the battle goes on?
Yeah, that was so fucking good in this game.
Yeah.
Got you hyped for that boss battle. Yeah.
I don't remember what the conversation was actually like, guys. Yeah,
I really loved that game. Remake.
So,
probably my game of the year already, and it's March. April.
Yeah, what I would say to you, Hamish...
Probably going to be no more games at this year,
I know, like, that was nothing that was really of interest to you, but you did have a wee go of 15, didn't you?
Yeah, I played 15. I played 7 back in the day. I never finished it, but...
I would give this a wee go.
Too drunk.
Just to see, you know, just to get a feel of it for maybe a couple of... Get back to us and be like, that was still shite. I would highly suggest you have a wee go of it.
That probably will be the conversation, but yeah, you know what? To be totally objective, I might give it a wee shot. And
can you do game sharing on PlayStation?
Yes.
Yeah. Me and Shane did it.
Alright, well, I was going to say I bought it digitally because I was worried about my physical edition not turning up, so we could share it if you want, if you don't want to buy it.
Well, Shane and
were
I
having issues with that off Amazon and stuff. Like, so you were legit. Like, it was a legit thing. They were like saying it was going to turn up, and then they just cancelled the order and stuff like that. So you probably did the right thing on that one.
Well, I did hear that they were giving them out early.
Yeah, some people had it early.
Some people had it early, and then some people were not getting it at all. Amazon were just like, sorry, we're just going to cancel that order.
Matt was messaging me saying that. He's like, if you got yours in the house, I bought mine digitally, man. And I was like, I wasn't waiting. Like, especially like Amazon were going to be releasing it, but I heard like people hadn't got it. Craig was messaging me and saying that he still was waiting for his, but he got his on Saturday, so he's playing through that and let me know how he thinks of it, as well.
Kind of sucky that like Square Enix, they knew that physical ones were out and they wouldn't release it digitally. Like, if you found out it'd been, leaked
situation,
just go like, all right, there you go.
Yeah, it's
It
true.
happened a few times, hasn't it? Where they've just went, fuck it, we'll release it early because there's copies out there. Films do that when pirates get a copy of them and stuff like that. They just release it a couple of days early.
So I think that was more than enough, unless you got anything else you want to say.
Did you complete it on normal?
Oh, come on. I thought we were done with this.
Yeah,
and it's also classic mode, right? Or classic mode means the game is an action game, so you attack and you move about. But classic mode, the game automatically moves your character and you just pick instruction. Kind of like a turn-based RPG, if you want to play it like that, which is pretty cool, but it's very, very easy.
Yeah,
I never completed all
very
that.
Basic.
I wanted.
Did you use the normal as well?
Yeah. I was.
Awesome.
I think I'm like 50 or 60% away through achievements or trophies, and I think the hardest trophy to get is probably going to be the stupid pull-up one.
Yeah, that's tough, isn't it?
I was trying my best. I got the squat one very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, it was Aaron Hansen. Is it Aaron Hansen? Ego Raptor?
Was it?
Was one of the bodybuilders, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, he put it on his Twitter. I don't know which one he actually was, but he was in additional voices as well.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. Play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Right, Hamish, now we're finished with Final Fantasy. You tell me what you've been playing this week, and I'll not listen.
Well, my game's actually good. I mean, you hate Ubisoft, but I've basically just been playing more Odyssey. Still enjoying Sparta kicking people off the cliffs and stuff like that. That's always fun. Apart from that, though, Ross and I have been playing Tabletop Simulator and mostly Star Wars Legion, board game Star Wars Legion. So Tabletop Simulator is honestly great. You can play like any board game if you install the mods and stuff like that. I mean, from anywhere to like Scrabble and chess and whatever to ones with a lot more complicated pieces and all that. But Star Wars Legion, it's just like it's a 1v1, a worm v worm me. But it's so much fun, isn't it, Ross?
I'm pretty sure there probably is ways that you could make it more than 1v1. You would just have like it's one army versus another army, and you do it up to a certain point value. So you probably could arrange something where you could do like a 2v2 or a 1v2 or something where like somebody has half an army and the other person has half an army and play it like that. But the whole thing's it's really cool. Star Wars themed, obviously.
Is it like the Rebels against the Empire, or is it like on sort of different Jedi versus Sith?
No, it came out initially and it was Rebels versus the Galactic Empire, and then it was the
Separatists versus the Republic.
Yeah, Separatists and Republic. So you've got now there's the clone troopers and the droids, which is cool. And then obviously there's a whole host of famous characters in there. So you've got like Darth Vader, Palpatine, Boba Fett. Then you've got like Commander Rex from the Clone Wars. You've got Grievous. You've got Han Solo, Chewbacca, Leia. All those sort of characters, and then there's ranges of different vehicles in it. So you get like snow speeders, ATSTs, ATRTs, loads of things, and they've all got their own rules and points. And the way it's supposed to work is you're supposed to make up an 800 point army based on troops that you have. Now, obviously, this is a game that I've liked the look of. It's very much like a sort of Warhammer-esque.
Right.
Managers on the table.
A lot of strategy. You have to be involved for it, positioning. And...
definitely,
yeah.
You'll make up your army, and you need to even kind of think about that. Like badass people like Darth Vader, he'll be like 200 points, so that's a big whack of your 800 already. You need to think about that, and they also have skills and stuff like that. But then you need to think you need to have enough troops and stuff like that, because you can either play just like a straight out deathmatch, or there's sometimes like objective based ones and it'll be like, you know, capturing 3 points, like kind of like hard point or something like that in COD. So if you don't have enough troops, then you're not going to be able to cover all the bases and stuff like that. So there definitely is a huge amount of strategy involved.
Yeah, you got to watch for like the spread and make sure that, you know, all your bases are covered and your base don't belong to us.
Yeah. Do you think it'd be a fun game to stream?
Oh, it's really fucking long, so no.
Thanks.
I don't think it's one
streaming.
Yeah, I don't think it would be one that you would stream, but you could definitely make it. Well, on YouTube they call them battle reports, where they just have basically all of the crap in between turns. So your thoughts, you know, that, oh well, should I go here, should I go there, I'm going to measure this, but I'm going to measure. They cut out all of that, and they just have I'm going to move this one, I'm going to move it there, and they show you them moving it and doing whatever they need to do, and they just skip out. You know, it's like Dragon Ball Kai. They cut out all the shit, all the filler. There's no birds singing. But
all that meat stuff.
To be fair, I think you probably could stream it. See, now that we know the game a bit better, like because we were playing a game a couple of days ago, whenever it was, and it took 8 hours. We were playing.
Yeah,
and that was, but that a lot of that was
shift, man, that's a shift.
Yes.
Like on your card, like you say, mostly for things like leader cards or kind of commander cards, Palpatine, Vader, stuff like that. They'll have like 4 or 5 different things, so you're checking. And these things come into play every time that you start a round and stuff like that. And so you're always kind of checking in that. So we were kind of checking the glossary every time. Yeah,
but is there a cheat sheet like that comes up on like display, or is it something that you've got to manually get like a PDF to bring up?
Some of the cards you can just flip over and it'll tell you. So you just look through basically what would be the manual. But this game, it lays all that out for you on the side.
Yeah. Okay. So a glossary. What's
about to note with this is that this game isn't a digital game, so it's not the game Star Wars Legion is a physical. You buy little miniatures, you build them up in your house, so you play them on a tabletop. But somebody for this tabletop simulator has created a whole program, or a team of people have created this whole program where they've scanned in miniatures, they've scanned in the cards, they've wrote up scripts and made it so that it's as easy and as simple to play. All you're really having to do is decide, right, well, I want to move him there. The token, so the way it works is you set a token beside the character you want to use, and then when you flip the token to active, it then gives you a whole host of options. So you can aim, you can check range, you can do loads of different things, but it's whoever's done this is these dedicated guy scripted it all so that it's as simple as possible for you to be able to play it. It's really cool. But that's just one that we played on Tabletop Simulator. We also, with my missus, and I've got 3 other people that I'll play board games with in person. They'll come to the house usually, but with the quarantine we've obviously been restricted, so we got it and we played a big 6-player game of Settlers of Catan, which was pretty cool. Again,
is that the one that you were talking before about? Quickly, or was that one? Yeah, because I remember you were saying about that, and that's like that was the one that you were saying you were needing more than like the couple that you usually do. It's usually 4-player ones. You said this one is that the bigger one?
No, that's that one's normally 4.
You played it in person with them before, didn't you?
We physically played a 4-player game of Catan. Catan's normally a 4-player game. There is the expansions for it where you can play it for up to 6 people. You can play 5 and 6 players if you get an expansion. It just adds more tiles to the board and gives you an extra rule. But we managed to get the 6 of us online, 6 different computers all playing Settlers of Catan together, which is pretty cool.
Awesome.
Just the kind of shit you have to do during this quarantine, you know.
Well, that's
sorry, Jason.
That's what I was saying. It's going to get more people getting creative. Like this Tabletop Simulator, it's been out for years, but it's probably been downloaded more now, more than any other time, because of what's happening. People are becoming creative in what they can do and what they can play. And like people are using apps and stuff like that to play games and talk to each other and communicate more than ever before. Could you imagine this 10 years ago, maybe or 15 years ago, when you were sitting with a Nokia 3210 playing Snake 2? No.
Xbox Live's down.
God, PSN's been hacked again. Fuck.
The card information.
Totally right, Jason. Like I can't remember the name of the creators of the Tabletop Simulator, but they tweeted that they've had their most concurrent players ever and stuff like that. And it's obviously like you say, people are looking for things to do.
I mean, it's a good shout as well from what I've seen from that from the display you guys were showing before we started the cast. I'm like, that actually was really fun. I mean, you could just play that with anyone, family members, pals, work guys, and all that as well. I think that'd be a really good shout. And how much is it?
It's like 15 quid. We got it for $7.50, but honestly, for £15, it'd be worth it. How much is a Ross? You'll probably know this. You've probably looked at Star Wars Legion before. How much would Star Wars Legion have cost?
I mean, if you want to physically buy the starter pack, so there's the introductory game that we did, which is just it's not even half an army on each side. You've only got like 4 units or something, like 4 squads. That alone is like 70-80 quid for it. So in order to actually play a full army, which an army has to consist, it has to have, I think it's 3 core units, a commander, and then it can have anything upwards. So you can have up to 3 specialists, up to 3 vehicles additional on top of that, but you need to have a base minimum of 1 commander and 3 core units. And the core unit additional boxes are like another 20 quid. So like to fill out a whole army, and then you need to paint the army, and then you've got to have a set, and then the other person has to buy it as well. You can play this on a floor, you just mark out the area, but if you want to play it properly with some scenery and shit like that, easily 200 plus, like easily. And then that's only one. If you want to make a different army for different scenarios, which one thing we didn't really touch on earlier on is you can make an army up all you want, but see, when it comes to actually playing the game, it's a random. You've got so many cards that you shuffle, and you lay out 3 of each. So you get 3 for how you are going to lay out your formations. So there's 3. You say,
like a football match.
Sort of. So you imagine a battle. A battle is going to take place on either side of the table. So you've got a red area and a blue area where you can position your initial troops. But depending on what card, some of the cards are like corner to corner as opposed to edge to edge, and then there's another one that does short edge to short edge as opposed to long edge to long edge. So you could plan, oh well, I'm going to do like a pincer motion and I'm going to come in either side, or then that card doesn't get played, or there's certain objectives that you need to play and you think, oh well, I'm going to play all these guys because I really want to get into the middle first so that I can grab that objective, and then when it comes to it, the objective game mode isn't actually played, so you're just running forward into fire as opposed to running forward to grab an objective, So I don't have enough knowledge of it to say, oh well, this is the sort of card you would play at this point or whatever. So it would need to be something that we played more of.
Awesome.
Before I would actually understand it, but that's one of literally. I was just trying to have a wee look there to see exactly how many. So the game itself has sort of add-ons to it where you can pay for them and they're additional. So you're £15 RRP for the game, and then you can buy add-ons officially through it. But just having a quick look here, there's 32,500 workshop games. An awful lot of them are going to be doubles and triples of the same version of the game, but there's things in there,
little tweaks and stuff with the rules.
Aye, so you've got
like some different models.
Simple things that people would know, like Monopoly, Uno. There's games of those, but then there's also so somebody's made them up. They've went into the game mode. They
made assets and
they've copied in images. They've set them onto the cards. They've replaced all the stuff. They've set the scripts up in the rules, and they've made up things so that when you hit deal, everybody gets 2 of the cards or whatever. They've wrote everything into this game. So it's specifically ruled to that version of the game.
That's pretty awesome.
Some people have done that.
It's really good for kind of keeping you right and stuff like that. The really cool thing about the Tabletop Simulator though is that people have put in the rules and stuff like that. Like in, for example, Star Wars Legion, it knows how much movement people can do. So people like Palpatine, because they're old pensioners, he can only move like one at a time. So you just hit it and show you the distance you can go. You move it about where you want. He's got unlimited power, but not walking. Just with the Force. You put it where you want, you hit the move button and it moves it for you and stuff like that. So there's a lot of kind of ease of access, and it's very kind of user friendly in that way. Obviously, there's still difficulties with having to use a mouse and all in your keyboard, whereas physically you could just reach in front of you and move it, and that would be a bit easy. But once you get the hang of the controls and stuff like that, then it's just a great tool. And it's not even just board games and stuff like that. Things like Cards Against Humanity, people have scanned stuff like that, and
awesome!
It's all
basically But basically, like any kind of tabletop game you can think of.
But I mean, that's also pretty good that everything's basically physically been backed up digitally for it as well. So you'll always have a copy of all those games on a digital format, which is not too bad.
I don't know how. I was playing the other night. Then I jumped on join, because you can create a server,
sessions
create a room for playing. Yeah, so you can create sessions and you can lock them, put a password, so only the people that you tell they can get in. But there are people that just play open games because they're just looking for anybody to play a game with, as you do with Mortal. And I joined a game the other night there for a game called Bang, which is a sort of card game where one person's a sheriff, so many other people are like bandits, renegades, or what's up, mate? You're pure heavy giggling away.
Sorry, one person's a what? A sheriff?
A sheriff.
One person's a sheriff.
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 Right. One person's a sheriff.
You were saying?
One person's a sheriff.
Sheriff.
Okay. I'm not hearing it, obviously. It's hilarious. Fucking what? I don't even know what it was.
Bang, it was called.
Yeah, so I've joined in a game called Bang, and one person's a sheriff, the other person is there's other people. You've all got different roles, and you can all do your own. And the cards, when you play them down, they then have an action that will happen. So if you play it in front of another player, it's basically you're trying to kill everybody. If you're the sheriff, for example, you're trying to kill all the bandits, and it's supposed to be you and your deputy are the only two people that are left standing at the end of it.
Right.
So you shoot people, but they've got the option to dodge it. So if they've got a dodge card, they can play it. So when you play the card in front of them, there's a wee button that you can hit that says play, and then they've got the option to either take the hit, so they can click another button that takes a health off of them and it automatically removes the wee marker from their health bar, or they can play another card down and hit play, and then it'll obviously cancel the action. That was all scripted, and it was really cool that somebody came up with that, but that game has now been banned because the company don't want digital versions of their game, so that workshop variation of it had to be taken down. But this guy that had loaded it and had played it had saved so if you follow something in the workshop in Steam, it becomes available for you to then open up in your workshop tab. But if you then go into the game and start the game and decide halfway through it, oh shit, I'm going to save this because we've not got time to finish or whatever, so you hit save. So he's obviously saved that as a state, but it's now saved on his computer as a game in progress. So you can constantly reload it back at the start as a game in progress without it being on the workshop because it's been taken down off the workshop. Yeah. So as much as there are variations of games on there are even more that people have been able to save versions of.
Yeah.
That aren't available. And there's also people have made versions on the workshops that aren't publicly available. They're just for them specifically. So
yeah, they've made the asset, or they've got the asset.
Yeah. One of the quickest and easiest ways for, well, I say easy, it probably isn't easy, but a way of doing it without printing products for testing would be Kickstarters to make up a digital version on Tabletop Simulator for people to play. And there has been a version of Dice Thrones that was made, and it was a Tabletop Simulator demo for the game. So it's there, it's got all the official like posters and everything all around. When you sit at the table, it's a virtual table, but then all the way around it, there's the background is all made up of these official artworks that they made because it was their demo.
A passion product, a passion product.
But they've then the games came out. It's been full release. You can buy it in the shops now. It's a physical game that you can buy, but it's still on the workshop. It's been a copy that people can still download because they're happy for people to play it.
Yeah,
on
that's
Tabletop
awesome.
Simulator as well.
I like that for it.
It's fucking hunters though. There's like one of the ones there was a Trivial Pursuit with like well over 5,000 questions in it. So
yeah,
like
all which like Hugh would be like Final Fantasy.
Nah, you broke up, mate.
Oh, it says like, and Hugh would be on. Oh, it's not about Final Fantasy.
Is
I'm not interested in
game?
There probably is, mate, to be fair.
Yeah.
Right, has anybody watched anything good this week?
Yeah, I've seen the new Mortal Kombat film, mate. Mortal Wombat it's called. It's about wombats that fight each other. Yep. We all know that one, don't we? I've seen the new Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun.
And what's interesting about that, it's Warner Brothers. Like, see the very start of it?
Mummy Returns?
No. Why would it be like that?
Scorpion with The Rock? Is it The Rock playing the Scorpion?
Oh, right, okay, right.
If it's not The Rock playing the Scorpion, I don't want to watch it, man.
You don't know Mortal Kombat, do you, Jason? No.
If The Rock's not in it, who the fuck wants to watch it, mate?
It's actually
it's The Rock's and everything.
It's actually a pretty good cast. Hugh, you've obviously been watching Community recently. I'm assuming you've probably finished it by now. But Joel McHale, Jeff from Community is Johnny Cage. He's actually really funny. Him and Sonya Blade, who's played.
Great casting.
Yeah, no,
who's Sonya Blade? We missed it in that there.
My girl Jennifer Carpenter, mate, Deb from Dexter, and she's also really good. But the chemistry between them is dead funny. It's humorous, but it's also the first animated and any Mortal Kombat film that's like rated R, or an adult film, because the violence in it is just spectacular.
That's pretty good.
See, like, the fighting scenes are brilliant, and see they've got the kind of, in the past few games they've got like the X-ray when you're doing like any kind of finisher.
Yeah.
They've got that, and it's just brutal. Heads chopped off everywhere. It's wild. It's only like 80 minutes long.
That's pretty
that's an hour and 20 minutes,
Yeah.
Jason.
Oh my god, he looks so angry.
So
Is that 180 beers? Sorry.
It's not even that long. It feels kind of like a long episode or something, but I'd say it's definitely worth a watch. Like, the animation is fantastic. The voice acting, I don't know many other of the voice actors, like what they've been in and stuff like that, but it's all really good.
Isn't it? As Sub-Zero, he played thingy from Cowboy Bebop, Spike from Cowboy Bebop, didn't he? So
Mr. Bloom.
yeah, he's pretty famous in voice acting circles.
Voice acting terms, yeah. Right.
So this movie's an 18, yeah?
It's an 18, yeah. But no, I would definitely recommend it to anyone that's, either a fan of the Mortal Kombat series or even not, because it's kind of I don't think it really follows a canon. It's just like a origin story. You basically start off with Scorpion and Sub-Zero. That goddamn bitch kills his whole clan and his wife and his kid in front of him, so it's his revenge. But there's also plenty other bits with, the rest of people, like Sonya and Johnny and stuff like that.
Is Liu Kang in that as well? Like,
He is
the
in it,
original
yeah.
cast? Shang Tsung?
Shanks.
Yeah, they're all in it.
Nice.
Like Baraka and stuff like that. A lot of, familiar faces. Goro.
Goro.
Ripping. You see him ripping Jax's arms off, and it's just so brutal, man.
Awesome.
It's,
Spoiler.
Well,
I mean,
the main question is, Hamish, does it have the Mortal Kombat original movie soundtrack?
Mortal
Something well one.
No, it doesn't. No.
See, I don't want to watch it now. That's
Well, I mean, it's funny that you should bring the soundtrack up, because it is actually pretty damn awesome. A lot of it's just kind of instrumental stuff. There's not any singing or anything like that in it. It was pretty damn cool. Like, I could see myself, like in the gym lifting weights to it, and then thinking, these are small weights. I'm no Goro. I'm no Jax, but it was a lot of fun. Like I say, you don't really need to know the whole story of Mortal Kombat, because it's just like an origin story. It makes total sense, even if you've never heard of Mortal Kombat in your life. You know what I mean? Definitely recommend it.
Awesome.
Nice. Gaming news. Check my tablet.
Gaming news.
It's the gaming news section. Thank you for listening to the gaming news section.
I don't actually know what's going on in gaming news.
PlayStation 5 controller was revealed. Everyone thought it was a joke until PlayStation were like, yeah, really, that's it? That's what we're going with? So what do you think?
I don't think it looks that bad. Like, I don't think it should be getting any flack. It just looks very similar to Xbox, is all I think.
Did you think it was because of the white colour that they came out with? That it looked too familiar to like the Xbox One S in that first launch?
Just the general shape. Like, see if you look at them either side by side or overlay them, they're very similar. But see, the thing is, with everyone's hands, apart from this giant Jason that we've got on, everyone's hands are pretty much the same. You know what I mean? So there's only so many ergonomic designs that you could have. So there's no problem with it being the same. Like, I'd rather they were all kind of similar, because I remember I don't play my PlayStation anywhere near as much as I play my Xbox. So when I do go to the PS4, I'm like, oh, this feels weird.
Yeah.
I like both designs. I play PS4 and the Xbox kind of interchangeably a lot of the time, and I think they're both pretty similar as it is. The only differences being a slight shape difference and the offset analog stick.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about this controller, it looked chunky compared to the PS4 controller. Looked more rounded on the edges.
Which is strange.
Yeah, it was your remote.
I wasn't happy with the triggers.
Yeah.
They weren't good triggers. They were small and not very tactile looking.
They need triggers. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's an Xbox thing, which is why they don't have them. But man, the difference, that's one of the first things I remember noticing switching between the PlayStation and the Xbox, was that whenever you're trying to play anything that needs the right trigger, so driving around in GTA or just any driving game in general, you need to hold that R2 button on the PlayStation controller. It's horrible. You need to buy either clip-ons or some alternative third-party controller that's actually got the curved grip, so
the traction.
Trigger.
It slips off a lot. It doesn't have good ridges or anything like that. It's not a great trigger.
And the texture that's on it's not enough that your finger sticks to it, because it goes down at an angle. It doesn't have that curve up for your finger to sit in a wee groove. It just slides off you and your finger slips.
I'm interested. I'm interested to see like if scale controller for it as well, because like I'm assuming it's going to be the same size as the PlayStation 4 controller, just that added thickness to it. Got sickness for the thickness, mate.
It does look thicker than the PlayStation 4, but I was expecting them to just go with a slightly updated PS4 controller, because I think we're getting to the point now we've almost perfected the design. The controllers aren't going to be different.
The 3 was very similar to the 4, or like basically identical, wasn't it? So
no, the 3 was a lot smaller. I hate
a lot lighter
controller.
The
PlayStation 3 controller is one of the worst.
The actual design, though, it was basically the same.
DualShock and Bluetooth
DualShock
connection
hasn't changed a lot, has it, over the years?
The best controller ever made was the Atari Jaguar, in my opinion.
Thanks for that opinion, Jason.
Keypad, it's fucking keypad in the
Need overlays for and stuff. That was best pad ever, man.
I think the Xbox 360 pad set the standard, and then everyone has to follow that, pretty much. So everyone has got the 4 front buttons, 2 triggers, 2 bumpers, D-pad and 2 analog sticks. That's it. Nintendo keep fucking with it, but
I don't mind. I actually don't mind the Switch's like controller that they have for it.
Switch isn't bad.
The Pro controller is really good.
The Pro controller.
I think Nintendo in their meetings are just like, all right, what's no one done yet? And we'll make a controller like that. You know what I mean?
How do we fuck people up? Like, they're used to this.
Next one will be like an
extra
ball. Next one will be just a ball that you can squeeze, and like you'll need to use your grip for it and stuff like that, and like buttons on each finger. Like, the next one will just be something fucking ridiculous like that, probably.
They're always
Nintendo tax.
They're always trying to play games differently, which is a different strategy than the American and the Xbox and PlayStation, which are just trying to perfect what they're doing. Nintendo keep trying to innovate what they're doing.
Ross, what do you think is the better controller? What do you think is better controller between? I was saying, what would you think is the better controller? Because like you've got to play with your PC usage. Are you more familiar with the Xbox controller? And what do you think for like the design choice that they went for this? It was very. I'm going to be honest. I thought the design was actually nice for the PS5 one.
I mean, it's so much easier to get an Xbox controller connected up to a PC, so that immediately is a bonus. But ergonomically, holding your hand, definitely the Xbox controllers, man. Yep, Xbox 360, Xbox One. Yep, I've actually still got a wired 360 controller kicking about somewhere that I can plug in and use. Yeah.
The only problem with that was the D-pad wasn't very good, but they changed that up later on. They could there was like you could twist it and it would become more of a D-pad. And
you could go between like just a straight D-pad or like the kind of 360 circular one. Like I bought the Gears of War 360 after my original 360, and that came with that kind of thing, which is interesting, but I never really used it much, to be fair.
I still love playing my 360. The controller just fits really nice. And when I'm playing PS3, I have to connect my PS4 controller, because if you connect it with a cable and do a certain button combination, it'll work as a Bluetooth controller. And because the PS3 controller is just terrible. But everything.
Do you remember that time you said you want to fix my Xbox 360 like 12.5 years ago?
It's still in a pile of consoles I've got to fix.
That's in he's on maybe pile.
What the problem is, I've got to take apart the disk drive, and that's a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
All I have to do is put a rubber band in, and that's
a
Rubber band.
That's a 12-year job, Jason.
It's a
Clearly.
Xbox 360 Elite. Just buy a second-hand Xbox 360.
I don't give a shit. They're only worth like £4 now. Like,
It's mine now, Jason. I fixed
I know.
Ross's PS4.
Eventually.
and then he sold it.
How long did that take, Ross?
I can't even remember how long did you have that for. Like nearly a year.
No.
How many blue moons can you have?
No, it was
Probably
about
a
6
couple
months. It was about
probably a
6
couple
months.
Any other news, thank you?
Sony are giving away 2 games for, I think it's, what do they call it? Free play for quarantine.
Stay at home.
Stay at
Stay at
home.
home.
Uncharted Collection and Journey. So that's
2
a lot.
pretty
That's
good games.
technically 4 games.
Yeah.
It's not technically, it is 4 games. Journey is short, but it's a really good experience. And then you've got the trilogy of PS3 Uncharted's, which, you know, that's a lot of time.
Rescaled.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Hasn't
They're
Journey
great
been?
games.
Sorry to interrupt. Hasn't Journey been a PS Plus game before though?
So is Uncharted as well.
Yeah,
is it?
they both have been.
have, yeah.
But I think it's more just for people that are like myself. I don't have a PSN account, like a subscription for it. So it would be good for myself. But I've got the games. Well, I don't have Johnny, but I've got like the Uncharted collection. But it's good for like incentive for people to, may not be able to have that money to go out and spend money on games that are sitting in the house, quarantine, can't do anything, and get this opportunity to play games. At least you're going to get 30 hours out from just Uncharted alone, 10 hours in each game.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's only if you're playing them once. There's a lot of challenges in those games as well. People usually play them for 20-30 hours each to get all.
And it's nice of them. And it's nice of them just to give that out for free for like the 2.5 weeks I think they're doing it for as well. So it is timed, yeah, but they didn't need to do that.
Good games though.
Definitely. AAA titles,
It's,
we'll see what happens if Xbox might follow suit and try to do something to get goodwill on their corner, maybe.
It's weird for PlayStation to do a giveaway like this. They don't usually do a lot of these.
Especially the financial situation that Sony are in. Like,
I don't think they're making a lot of money out of Uncharted and Journey anymore. So
it's not going to be a big hit to their sales, is it?
What they should have gave away was probably God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, but they're not going to do that.
You love that Horizon Zero Dawn.
you love that too much.
Why too much?
It's too much, mate.
It's not as good as you say. Did you see Ronda Rousey dressed up as Aloy?
No, I didn't.
Wait, what?
She was doing like a Twitch stream or something like that of the game, and she dressed up as Aloy and cosplayed or something.
Yeah,
it's one of the best games of this generation, anyway.
Yeah,
top 5, top 10.
Is it though? Is it though?
Yes.
Is it though?
And you're probably not going to like this, Hamish, but the top 10 of this generation is probably going to be mostly PlayStation games. Exclusive.
How would I not like that?
Because you're, the Xbox fanboy.
Do you not remember my top 10 of the decade, mate? God of War was like number 2. back in the good old days when it was just the 3 of us doing the podcast.
Hey guys, Hugh here. Sorry to interrupt this podcast. You can find our podcast on Spotify, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and on our YouTube page. You can find our Instagram at PatchesInOfficial, Twitter at PatchesIn. We have a Twitch at twitch.tv/PatchesInGaming. Our YouTube channel is PatchesIn. We have a Facebook page, facebook.com/PatchesIn. We have a website, www.patchesin.com. Right, back to the show.
Anyone else wants? We can do Jason's questions.
Jason's question.
Oh, did he actually get a question?
We got some.
Jason. It's all Danny.
One's Danny.
I put that up like not really expecting anyone to say anything because we were late.
I know.
So
Jason, first question.
Wait, where have you seen that, man?
All I found out recently. It's been a tough decision I have to make. Using to break it to Louise.
There's only 2 responses for it for you, Jason. First is from Ross's significant other saying, "Hi, Jason." That's it.
Hi, Danny.
There's from Chief Goldblum, who we know as Tam, asking, "What are you drinking?"
Oh, Asahi Japanese beer.
Yeah.
It was £10 for a crate of 12 at Asda, so obviously I had to buy 75 of them. So it was the best decision ever made.
How did you get a crate with 5 in it?
You can
Really big bottles, mate.
Just how I do, man. Don't you count with your King Kong, mate. You just take what you want and leave.
You're not King Kong, you're Donkey Kong.
Personally, I'm drinking Cobra Indian beer.
Nice.
I mean, it is nice, partly because there's no Stella left anywhere in a lot of places, but you know.
Well, Jason's bought most of Stella as well.
Namaskar
So what's that,
to
Hamish? Can't
our
get hold of
Indian
Stella?
listeners anyway.
They were selling Stella in packs of 12 and Jason bought 20 of them.
2012.
Got to get through the day, you know, somehow. Like when you live with Dom.
I hope someone else gets that joke.
Yeah.
What are you drinking, Ross? Are you the same as me on the diluting juice?
Mate, I've got a big jug of diluting juice.
Good man.
Hold
I'm
up to the
drinking
camera, but
skinny
he's all
beer.
slag me saying I look like fucking pee. So
Oh, yeah. What about yourself, Hugh? What have you been drinking?
I interrupted Ross there, but I'm drinking skinny beer.
Skinny beer.
It was the only beer on Amazon I could get delivered within a day or two.
Fuck's sake.
And also looking out for my figure because it's only 89 calories a bottle. So
yeah,
It
we're not
doesn't help
giving a
you
fuck
drink
about the
48
deliveries
of them,
either.
Hugh.
what's
See, I
that?
mean,
You can't drink 48 of them, that's still not healthy, man.
I've got a regular delivery thing going on where he delivers them every Thursday, 12 or 24 bottles or something like that.
yeah, I know you
Dom.
like. Fair enough, you can take care of your figure, but what are you gonna do about your hairline, man? Like, we're obviously doing a video chat. Your hairline looks like social distancing from your forehead. Right?
No, there's nothing much I can do about it, to be honest. I'm just going to let nature take its course. Hey, that about wraps it up for episode 26 of the Patches In podcast. So goodbye from Dom,
See you later, guys.
Hamish,
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Ross,
Bye, guys.
and our special guest, Jason.
Thanks very much for having me on, guys. Cheers, bye.
And that's a goodbye from me, Hugh. See you later, see you next time.
Super special guest. Good guy.
You
Guys, bye.
He crumbled under that pressure like instantly.
He's like, oh no, don't leave.